Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is your homeboy Jojo Kaiser here. I'm back with another storytime video for you guys today. So yeah, I'm really sorry for the background noise. It's raining right now, and I still want to be able to, record and make a video for you guys today. So yeah, let's keep going. Today's story time, not gonna lie, it's a little bit crazy, and I'm really upset that I didn't tell this story yet on my channel. Today's story time, man, I'm really upset that I didn't tell this story yet on my channel. Today's story time is about how a spoiled girl in my class punched the substitute teacher. Yep, just straight up decked the substitute teacher for no reason whatsoever. Yep, that sounds pretty crazy. I hope you all are having a wonderful day. And with that said, let's get on with today's story time. So today's story time takes place back in 7th grade. I was just a normal kid, just being a lazy asshole playing video games, all the normal kid stuff, right? So anyways, it's Wednesday morning, I'm getting ready for school, yada yada yada. So I get dressed, blah blah blah. I get ready to go to school. I get to school. So far the day is starting out really good. I meet up with my friends, eat breakfast, talk, all the normal stuff middle schoolers do during that particular time. So then our classes start, and up until fifth period, things are going pretty well. I didn't think anything bad was going to happen. It seems like everything's going to be a normal day. But then obviously, it doesn't become a normal day because this random girl comes into class very, very late and she looks pissed. Now, for the sake of this story time, I'm going to name this girl Stacy. Yeah, Stacy seems like a really, fitting girl name for this particular person. Now, Stacy is one of, if not the most spoiled and meanest girls in the entire school. She was constantly mean towards everyone. She didn't have any friends, well, except for fake friends who only cared about her dad's money. But that's a whole other story that I can make. And actually, at one point, right, when I was in gym class, for some reason, she gave this random guy a wedgie in the middle of the class, and it was really embarrassing. And yeah, to put it simply, she was a bitch. Like, she was one of the most spoiled and meanest girls in the school. And yeah, that's enough detail to let you all know that she's a bitch. But anyways, on to the story. So anyways, Stacy comes in late looking really pissed off. I don't know why she's this pissed off. I don't know if someone, pissed her in her goddamn Cheerios or whatever the case may be, but she looks extremely pissed off about something. And not only her, but the substitute teacher was also pissed off at Stacy for being late. And to give you guys a little bit of detail as to who my substitute teacher was, he was kind of a dickhead, but he wasn't as much as a dickhead as Stacy was. So, he's not that mean in comparison to her. So anyways, the substitute teacher looks at Stacy and is like, "Yo, Stacy, why are you late?" And then Stacy turns her head around towards the substitute teacher, gives him the middle finger, and then sits down at her assigned seat. Now, thankfully, she wasn't sitting next to me, like her assigned seat was not next to me. In my head, I was like, thank God I don't have to deal with her dumbass self acting like a bitch for no reason whatsoever. So anyways, Stacy is sitting there, looking at her phone, minding her own business, and then the substitute teacher gets up from his desk, walks over to Stacy, and is like, "Hey Stacy, what's your problem? Why'd you flip me off like that? Like, seriously, don't be rude." And then Stacy is like, "Look, substitute teacher, no offense, but you're nothing more than a substitute teacher, aka you don't make as much money as a regular teacher. So if I were you, I would shut the fuck up, go back to your desk, and leave me alone, okay? You're worthless. Get the fuck out of my face." And then Stacy flips him off again. Now look, does a substitute teacher make less than a regular teacher? Sure, 100%. I will agree with you on that. But you don't have to say it in front of the dude's face, like, bro. Like, dude, there was no reason for you to act like that in any way, shape, or form, right? If you're having any problems at home, which is making you upset, okay, sure, that's completely fine. I understand that. But you don't have to, provide your anger out towards other people for no reason whatsoever. Seriously, Stacy, why? That makes no sense, right? And the substitute teacher says that. He's like, "Look, Stacy, whatever issues you're having at home or whatever the case may be, that's totally fine. I get it. But you don't have to be rude towards me, for no reason whatsoever. So I'm going to turn around, right? And you're going to pay attention to the lesson. And if you don't, I'm going to tell the principal on you and you're going to get in serious trouble." And you want to know what Stacy does, right? Instead of sitting there being like, "Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry for being rude. I'm just having a really hard time at home. I'm not doing well at home. There's a lot of stuff that's happening in my personal life." Stuff that would actually make sense. I would have no problem, agreeing with Stacy being like, "Okay, you're having a really bad time at home. That's completely relatable to some people. I totally get it, right?" But no, you want to know what she does? She proceeds to get up, wind her fist up, and straight up punches the substitute teacher in the face, making him fall to the ground, completely knocked out. And me and the rest of the students in the class were completely shocked And then Stacy just straight up leaves the classroom, like completely like that. She completely leaves the classroom and then runs away somewhere. I don't know where, but she ran away. And so me and the rest of the students are just sitting there in complete shock as to what just happened. We're all thinking the same thing. Yo, did Stacy just punch a substitute teacher? Like, bro, that seems a little bit dumb. Why would you do that? Like, seriously, he wasn't even trying to be mean to you. He was simply saying, hey, just pay attention. He understands where you're coming from, but just, get through today. So anyways, Stacy leaves the classroom. Me and the rest of the students are completely shocked. Our substitute teacher is literally laying there on the floor, knocked out. So me and a couple of other students in the classroom started walking over to our substitute teacher just to see if he was okay, right? And then 30 seconds later, a security guard walks into the classroom and is everything okay? I heard fighting going on. And we were all like, yeah, like we're completely fine, but our substitute teacher is literally laying here on the floor unconscious. I'm like, damn, Stacy, I didn't know that you had a goddamn gorilla arm. Like, Jesus Christ. And then the security guard is like, okay, I'm gonna get the principal into the classroom. Everyone stay where you are. And then a minute later, the principal walks up and again asked all of us what happened. And we all said that Stacy literally winded her fist up and punched this substitute teacher in the face for some kind of reason. I don't know why she would do that. Like, it just seems really weird. And again, I understand if you're having issues at home and you're upset about something, but you don't take your anger out on a random substitute teacher who's just telling you to focus in class. Like, seriously, Stacy, why? That just made no sense. So then the principal was like, okay, we're gonna put this school on lockdown and we're gonna look for Stacy. She couldn't have gone far. We're gonna look for her, right? And sure enough, the principal literally put the school on lockdown just to find out where Stacy went. And apparently she went to the girls' bathroom for whatever reason. And it's like, why? Why the girls' bathroom, right? If you punch someone in the face, they get knocked out, right? If you punch a substitute teacher in the face and you knock them out, right? Why wouldn't you just leave school at that point? So that way you would get even less trouble. It's like, why? If you're gonna do something that stupid, why leave, right? And then go somewhere else that's way closer inside the school than outside of the school. That just makes no sense. But sure enough, Stacy gets caught, right? She gets sent to the principal's office, and at this point, I don't know what happened. The next day comes, and I'm realizing Stacy isn't in the classroom, right? She would usually come in like 10 minutes early to class. I don't know why that early, but I know that she would usually come in early. So I walk over to the principal's office. I ask my principal what happened to Stacy, and sure enough, she got suspended for 9 days, and the principal had to tell her parents about the whole situation. They were obviously upset, and then my principal told me that apparently Stacy, and her parents had a meeting during the afternoon talking about the situation. And you would think that with Stacy's parents, right, they would be very upset at their child for punching a substitute teacher, right? But apparently these dumbass rich parents were like, maybe the substitute teacher must have said something really bad to my poor innocent little daughter to make her upset. She's normally not like this. She would never do something like this. This is probably the substitute teacher's fault. And the principal was like, okay, that makes absolutely no sense, because at this point we didn't had any issues with our substitute teacher. He's completely nice. He's a completely nice guy. We don't have any issues with him. There's clearly something going on at home for her to be acting like this, because she came into school very upset, and maybe we need to talk about this. And then Stacy's father pipes up and is like, no, there's no issues with my daughter. My daughter's completely fine. She would never do that to a substitute teacher unless he did something to her. And listen, right, I'm all for parents supporting their child in some way, shape, or form, protecting them in any way possible. But as soon as you hear that your own child punched a substitute teacher for no reason whatsoever, I'm sorry, but that just seems like poor parenting on your part. Like, I don't care if I get a bunch of dislikes on this video for that comment, but no, I just don't care. Your child should have no reason whatsoever to punch anyone, period. Like, seriously, don't support that. But apparently that level of thinking doesn't matter to, Stacy's rich parents, right? And then her dad says out of nowhere, that I could potentially sue your substitute teacher for harming my daughter, right? Which is weird, because the substitute teacher didn't lay a finger on your daughter. Like, he didn't. I don't understand how you would think that it's completely okay for you to sue a random guy that didn't even do anything to your daughter. Like, he did nothing wrong. And thankfully, the principal has a fucking brain, and he's like, okay, look, it's pretty obvious that there's something going on right now, but until we, sort out this really dumb situation, I think it'll be best for your daughter to, receive some kind of punishment. for doing that to one of our substitute teachers. So it's effective immediately. You're going to get 9 days of in school suspension, and, we're going to see what happens from there, right? And so the parents are like, no, that's completely BS. My daughter didn't do anything wrong. How dare you disrespect us like this? We're going to sue you. And so the principal was like, okay, you guys can leave. And sure enough, they just walked up and left. And so the principal is telling me all of this, and I'm thinking to myself, holy shit, Stacy's parents are kind of dickheads themselves. Like, it's not really surprising how much of a dickhead Stacy is when her parents are even more so. And that just goes to show that some people are just really bad parents. So anyways, a week goes by and I don't see Stacy. Then another week goes by and I continue to not see Stacy. And then a month goes by and Stacy's nowhere to be found. And then come to find out that her parents transferred out of my school, and apparently she went to a completely different school. And to be honest, I was completely glad because I just didn't care about Stacy. Like, she was one of, if not the most meanest and spoiled girls I've ever seen in my entire life. And I'm glad that I never had to, witness her being a complete stupid idiot ever again. And yeah, guys, that's pretty much the end of the story time about how a spoiled girl punched a substitute teacher out of sheer anger, I guess. So yeah, moral of the story is don't punch anybody for no reason whatsoever, because that's really bad and you probably shouldn't do that. And with all that said, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's story time. If you did, I highly recommend liking this video and subscribing to my channel for more of my dumb content. A link to all my social media pages will be placed down in the description below for those of you that want to check it out. And until next time, guys, this is JoJo Kaiser signing out. Make sure you stay sexy and wear a condom. Peace!